Alright, so this is the more physical side of a loving teenager, or me. Um, for this series, this part of it, we are gonna, or I'm gonna be doing more physical stuff because a big part of health and mental health, not just health overall, mental health, is exercise. Would you believe it or not? It's not required for mental health, of course, but if you do exercise, it helps a lot with your self-esteem, your confidence, and most importantly, it can help dramatically improve your mental health and your self-image. It did for me when I started working out. I used to be nearly 300 pounds. I was a real big guy. But I started working out, and now I'm down to 188 of mostly skeleton, muscle, and organ. Still got a little bit of loose skin left, though. Don't let that sway you. It's a lot. But that's kind of one of the cool things of losing so much weight, that you get this ability to shock people, to freak people with loose skin. It's pretty nice. But it has its up and downs, to be honest. Today I'll just be doing a basic workout that I usually do. It should be overall interesting, pretty fun. For me, I'm not sure for you, but I'll be talking through most of it and maybe drop some philosophy, some wisdom, some thoughts, some experiences. Who knows? But I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna have some fun. So I'm gonna be doing bench first. It's the go-to for most men, including me. I like squat and deadlift, but there's something about bench that I just love. Now, it's definitely not my favorite exercise, but I guarantee you, it's pretty nice. Now, I usually, most commonly, have been struggling the past few weeks with my own strength plateau. Now, it is an issue since a buddy of mine has challenged me to get to 225 before him, and that's kind of difficult because I thought, right, I could do as much as him, but I found out my bar is actually 8 pounds less than what it should be. It's actually 37 pounds when it should be 45. Now that would and has distressed me, but as long as I get there, right, I'm just gonna have to work harder for it. Let's do this. Now this is about, I believe, 177. It's pretty difficult, I guess, but all I need to do really is to break my own limits. Call me Goku if you will. And take more protein. It shouldn't be that hard, right? It's easy. So it shouldn't take too long. So let's get to it. One more. That was easier than usual, just a teensy bit, but I'm not gonna let that get to my head. After that, I usually take my 30s, which are over there. Let me move this a little bit. You take these. I usually do chest flies. Now, the problem with my setup is I would use cables, but I don't got cables that work like that. So I just gotta do it with dumbbells. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew. 2 more. 11 and 12. I usually do one more exercise after that, which would be hammer curls. Though, can't use the 30s because I'm using them for chest flies, and I don't think finagling with all that would be very fun. So I'm just gonna use the 20s instead. Since I'm using the 20s, I'll probably do 4 more than I usually do. Maybe 6. Alright, here goes. 1, 2, 6 more. All right. All right. I'm gonna take a bit of a moment to talk about some stuff and some of my sets. So I'll use this as like time to speak about my journey in terms of lifting. Originally, right, yeah, like I'm a senior now. I'm a senior in high school. Freshman year, at the end of freshman year, I decided to go to a gym, a local gym, and get a personal trainer. And honestly, to be honest, I didn't really like it. It wasn't really the trainer's fault or the gyms. I just didn't like working out at first. Now, to mind you, I was like nearly 300 pounds and completely out of shape. So if there was anyone who could not like it, I was definitely one of them. And so I did that for like a few months. I did through summer and nearly pretty much all of my sophomore year. Then at the beginning of junior year, I dropped it because my personal trainer was moving to another state. So for months, I didn't work out. It took I basically lost all of my progress in the gym, which wasn't much because fat me didn't like working out very much. But I did eventually pick it back up in January of my junior year. And I fell in love with it. It was quite different than the first time because we had this home set then because my brother liked to work out before me. And over the summer and over the months since January, I was obsessed with it quite a bit. I was a gym rat, certified gym rat. I double scooped, I dry scooped. I looked up pretty much every possible workout. I meal prepped. It was something. And once summer stopped, senior year hit, I kind of lost it because of extracurriculars and all that. But I never fully stopped working out. It's been kind of a part of me for the last few years. So it's been really useful. Definitely attracted some ladies, though that's not why I do it. I work out to at first it was to lose weight, as every fat person wants to do at least some point. But now I work out for 3 reasons. I work out for my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ and God. I work out for my family so I can help them whenever I can, moving boxes, moving, like my sister leaving the house. And then third and lastly, I work out to help my mental health. It's quite a factor on mental health that a lot of people don't realize. But that's the reasons I work out. And I think it's just about time for my second set. All right. So with this weight on bench, 185. I usually don't get the same amount next set. I usually get one less or so. But I'll give it a shot. If I feel like I can't before, then I won't do it because I have no spotter. So like, death. I think that's a very bad alternative to just not getting one more rep. I'll wait a bit and then I'll do the extra rep. So here goes. I don't think I'll get the next one.
In the meantime,
let's sit and wait and talk a little bit more. I'm kind of a nerd. I've always have been since I was young. My father's one too, although if you look at it, you wouldn't believe he's a nerd. I like to learn. I love science a lot. It's actually a big thing on why I'm in here in the first place. I've taken anatomy and physiology during my junior year, so I learned everything about the human body, the muscles, the skeletons, nervous system, you name it, I learned about it. So it's really been a huge help with my physical journey. And honestly, without it, I wouldn't have got done as well as I have. Because, well, in anatomy and physiology, you learn where the muscles are, what they do, and how they do it. So I learned how every muscle in the human body contracts and what they do. Just for instance, everyone knows the bicep. It pulls the arm up. We learned that. Longs, tricep, deltoid, quads, glutes, chesticles, some other stuff too. What we do with that? Here comes my dad now. How's your day been? How's your day been? Pretty good?
better.
Oh, better? Oh, man. He's got his tooth removed.
I said, I've been better.
You just holding your mouth like that, or did you wire it shut?
No. Hold it too. Just holding it.
Hmm.
You been making some workout videos?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Cool.
I figure it might help.
Cool.
Oh.
I'll let you get to it.
Anyway, it's really been quite something. Honestly, I forgot where I was. So I'm just gonna do this final rep and then move on. Alright. Next up would be just flies with the dumbbells. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, no, 11. I was gonna mix up. 12. Oh, this one's a form can get messed up quite easily. For sure it did there for a moment. But it'll be fine. Hammer curls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, set 2 done. Out of 3. So working out's been a really big thing, really good for me and just about everyone I know, to be honest. To be honest, it can be difficult sometimes with school and all of my extracurriculars. It can be difficult to keep up in here and everything, but I try to find the time. I suppose next up is, I guess, wisdom. One of the biggest things I've come to realize about working out is that a lot of people end up having body dysmorphia. It's a massive problem with anyone who works out. They go online and see people who walk around in the fucking truck lane because they're that fucking big, and they think they're small. They think they don't look that good. It doesn't only affect people who are in the gym and such. It can affect everyone, but it's even I think it's even bigger of a problem in the gym than anywhere else, because they've achieved something, especially if you got into like a place like Sam Sulek and all them. You've achieved something that not even 1% of the population in the entire world has been able to achieve. If you reach 225, 90% of Americans can't do that. 90%. I ain't getting that shit. But they hate the way they look. They shouldn't, to be honest. And it had me for a bit. When I was starting out, I thought I looked disgusting. I thought I was an amorphous piece of shit. But as I've matured, as I've grown, I've come to learn that it really doesn't matter. The way you look to somebody else isn't as bad as you think. When you have body dysmorphia and you look at yourself, as I'm sure I don't need to tell like most of you, you think you're by far the most ugliest thing in the entire damn world, coming from experience. But no one really views you like that. No one really does. I've I've seen friends who look like me, and I don't think they don't look that bad to me. And they told me that they really hate themselves, the way they look.
Oh, I know for sure. I just in my mind, I was thinking like, I don't understand. I do want to.
What is he doing, bro?
I understand that.
And I've had friends who are like varsity athletes who are chiseled jawlines, made from marble, from stone. Yet they hate how they look. Body dysmorphia affects everyone, and it doesn't go down to as deep as you would think. So, armed with that new knowledge, I've stopped hating myself. I started loving the way I look. Now, don't get me wrong. Coming from being super fat like I was, you still have a bunch of loose skin, like I mentioned before. So that's the double-edged blade that loose skin is that you have to freak people out when you do this, right? When you do this, but you also have to deal with like the larger areas of loose skin. Like around my stomach, I have a lot, and I just like that when I was working out at first, but I like it now, to be honest. Kind of crazy to say, but I like it right now. The loose skin is more like a trophy than a burden. It's proof that you did what most people couldn't. The vast majority of people out there use all kinds of drugs to help lose weight. And if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. It's a very valid option to take. It can be difficult to lose a lot of weight by yourself. But if you lose the weight by yourself, no drugs, this loose skin is a trophy. It's bragging rights. It's bragging rights, okay? It's bragging rights. So with that bit of knowledge, when I look in the mirror, I don't hate myself anymore. In fact, I love it because the loose skin gives my physique something in my stomach. You know, you have to have in a physique you can be massive, but if it's all over the place, it doesn't really look that good. If you have like massive arms but a really small chest, it's not gonna look that good. But if you have massive arms and a really big chest, it looks great. So with having nothing around my core, like because I'm so fat and I have so loose skin, you can't see definition, you can't see abs or any of that. You can't see suction because I have so much loose skin. Well, you can see a little bit of suction, tiny bit, but not a lot. It gives something. It gives me something to work with down there in my core section, you know, my abs down here. So it's really nice. The only problem is that with all that loose fat, when you put on like a belt or like really thick pants, it tends to push it up. And so that's not really fun. That's not fun to deal with when it gets pulled up. Of course, you can always just like put your pants around the loose fat, but trust me, that's not fun. Turf burn for days. But if you want to do that, go ahead. More power to you. But yeah, body dysmorphia is a real big problem. And I would stop. If there's any piece of advice for people who are going through that, it would to be, what good does it do for you? What's your issue and what does it good? Like, what good does it do for you? Are you really skinny? Okay, jawline. Jawline for days. Are you really fat? Okay, if you start hitting the gym, trust me, you do not need to bulk. You already got the power for it, okay? You have the energy stored for days. I have experience. And if you're overall like skinny fat, you're well proportioned. I'm not gonna lie. Being well proportioned has good things. Okay, let's do this third set, and I'm gonna finish the video. All right. Okay. All right. I know you want to get rid of me, but like, not yet. You gotta deal with it. Womp womp. One, two, three. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know why I lose so much power, but I do. It'll be fun. In the meantime, I'll talk a little bit. Body dysmorphia is a real issue, but don't let it get you down. Coming from personal experience, it can be troubling, but there's always light in the tunnel at the end. You know, classic regurgitated stuff, but like it's true. A lot of that stuff that you would think is just garbage because it's regurgitated, it's true. That's the reason why it's regurgitated. You know, I'm a huge Warhammer fan. I love Warhammer. It's really fun. I've been into it since middle school. It's all about kind of war, to be honest. It's just about war and stupidity and stuff like that. Religion, kind of, but like not any real religion. You know, one made up in the game. But I don't subscribe to that idea of thinking. Me personally, I just ignore the religion part a little bit. It's definitely fun. I won't lie. That part of it's pretty cool. But like, I'm Christian. This is just how I do things. But on the other side of the spectrum, I love watching 10-foot tall men in crazy armor with crazy weapons shoot lightning from fingers, bro. That shit is rad. It's like it's like Star Wars, but like actually kind of manaholic. You know, it's like something that it's just so geared towards like the male fantasy. I just can't help but think, hell yeah. All right, next one. Oh man, I had to fight for that one. Oh man, that's an issue. Next up is cable flies. It's definitely something from time to time. There's all kinds of things in Warhammer. Me personally, I kind of mess with the Blood Angels and the Salamanders a lot. For those who don't know, they're Space Marines who are, like I said earlier, massive 10-foot men in crazy armor, crazy weapons. I think my all-time favorite has probably gotta be either salamanders or imperial fish. They're I like unlike a lot of people, I like the color aesthetic they're going on with. They're going orange, yellow, red, and white. Typically, what you'll find. They're my favorite. I can't lie. I just love the look of them so much. It's pretty awesome. All right, next up. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10, 11, 12. All right. That would be all of the cable flies or the dumbbell chest flies. Now, there's only girls to go. Heck yeah. Ooh. There's a little bit of a pump going. 9. 12. 16. Alright, now with that done, all 3 sets are finished. That leaves 2 things left. My pump and what each workout does. We'll do what workout does first. Everyone knows bench, does chest, and it does triceps as well. Everyone knows that. One of the lesser known facts is that it actually also takes a bit of shoulder too and delt. Actually trains your forward delt quite a bit, just a bit, not a lot. It also trains your shoulder as well. You're also pushing your shoulder up usually as you go. Or depending on your form, you have back here and your shoulders trying to keep it all from falling apart. It's stabilizing. For chest flies, actually, also another little known fact about bench is that it doesn't hit your entire chest, depending on what variation you're doing. The normal flat bench, which is what everyone knows, really only hits the outside of your chest right here. And while it can get into the deeper regions, depending on what variation you're doing, typically it won't. And that segues into chest flies with 30 pounds. Chest flies aim depending on how deep you go. Usually with cables, you go all the way. But with dumbbells on my bench, it's kind of hard to go that deep. They hit one of two things depending on your deepness. Usually they'll hit the inner chest right here near your chest midline, and they'll hit your middle chest as well, your mid chest. They'll also usually hit that as well. So you're trying to get inner chest with that stuff, which it definitely is working right now. It's 100% working. I can feel the pump. But depending on your arm form too, you can also hit biceps as well, depending on how hard you go. And speaking on biceps, those curls I was doing, they hit two muscles, to be exact. They hit your biceps brachii, and they hit your radiobrachialis, which I believe I already said. That's why you do hammer curls, which is what I was doing. Since your brachii, radiobrachialis, helps with moving your forearm closer to your arm, and since where it's positioned, if you look, you can see this is it. This is it. So if you do hammer curls, it's more active than just doing normal curls. In fact, it's basically barely active at all during normal curls. If you really want to hit that and forearm as well, you do reverse curls. Reverse curls are a pain sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Depending on what weight you use. It's always easier if you use 5 pounds, like my brother. But typically, that's what those workouts do. Now, finally, we're gonna pump. We're gonna do a pump. My forearm's not the best, but you can still see it right there. That's my brachioradialis. And next up is my bicep, which is what we were training, and my tricep. Now, I have a lot of loose skin, so it can't really come through really well. It's not going to be cut. But all of this is my bicep. And all of this is my tricep. So it's not easily coming through, but the muscle is there. And then next up is my chest and a little bit of delts. I did train some delts earlier, but that's not what's, that's not the main thing. You see my chest right here. You can see that. That's my chest. And it's quite nice sometimes. Most of the time, in fact. I got an amazing chest. And then, as you can see, I got some definition. Pretty nice, I'd say. But overall, that is pretty much it. Now, before I leave, I do want to say one thing. My hair is messy. It usually is. But what I want to say is that when you work out, make sure to wonder why you work out. Why are you doing this? Any reason is fine and great, honestly, as long as you work out. But there are definitely some that I think are better. Most namely, I work out. All right, I work out for strength, so I can help my family. That's why I work out. Um, and one last note: never judge someone for how they work out. Most of the time, it's people just not knowing what to do, or they saw it online, they think it'll work. Make sure to correct them on that. It won't always work. There's some crazy things out there. Science-based lifters can get pretty wild. I'm sure you've seen. But it's make sure to be kind, caring, loving. Good morning. And actually, I guess, yeah, this is goodbye for this episode. Good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon. And don't let those bed bugs bite, or have a great morning, have a great night. I don't know. But hey, make sure to do good, be good, and love thy neighbor, I guess. I don't know how to end this. So I'm just going to end it right now.